Hello everyone, my name is Cletus and welcome to the clan. So without further ado, let's get into this video. Somebody had a problem with my name being Cletus and shortened it to the clan and said something rather stupid. But anyways, we are not there. Guys, welcome to the channel and welcome to the clan. If you are new, thank you so much for considering us and finding us. And I appreciate the messages of encouragement that I've been getting from you guys. I read your comments. I read all your comments. It's just that I'm having a problem with my comment section. I'm not quite sure what's happening. And I've been writing to YouTube and say, guys, please fix my comment section. Something isn't right there. But anyways, before I go any further, please do this channel a huge favor by smashing the like button, guys. It helps with the channel to grow. It helps smash the algorithm to push and promote this video to even more people so that more clan members can come and find us and subscribe. If you are just watching and you have not subscribed yet, should I go get my spoon or should I put you at the back of the class? You decide. Anyways, guys, as you guys know that the Senzo Meyiwa murder trial is adjourned until the 22nd of January 2024, and as a result of that there's this dead space that is going on. And of course, to fill in the dead space, I'm currently reading articles that I have not seen before. And as I'm busy reading, of course, everything is related to Senzo Meyiwa, anything that is around Senzo Meyiwa, and of course other cases as well that are transpiring. We are also going to speak about Oscar Pistorius at some point, who got parole. I want to hear from you how you feel about all of that. And then I want to talk about this particular article because I think it is so close related to the Senzo Meyiwa. I want to hear what your thoughts. I want to hear what your thoughts are as much as I have my thoughts. As a matter of fact, I've got two thoughts. The first one was, I hear you. And I agree to a certain extent. But the other thought is like bombastic side eye type of situation that's going on in my head. But I am rubbing my two IQs and I'm saying to myself, listen, I have preached this before on my channel. I know we'll get there. We'll get to the article and what it's about. But I want you to remind you before I read it that several times I have said this before. And sometimes as well, I will get in the comment section, people say, but why can't we do this? Or why can't we organize this? And then I will explain exactly how the person in question in this article has said almost exactly what I said. Even though I did not have the correct words to put it, but they kind of like cleared it out. And that is where I'm like, okay, I agree with you there. Whom am I talking about? I am talking about Judge President Mambo. And this is the article of the 6th of December 2023 by Prime Media Editor IOL Sihle Mlambo. That's very interesting. The headline says, Judge President Mambo pleased with the pace of Senzo Meyiwa murder trial. This is the part where I'm like, bombastic side eye. And then I'm like, tell me more. Why do you think like that? And then there's a comma, no complaints against presiding judge. I was like, wait a minute, whoa. But then at the same time, I'm like, wait. We must also understand that we are dealing with people with ambitions as well. I will get to that. As to why I think no complaints have been laid against Ratha yet or ever will be laid against Ratha to begin with. So let's get into the article, and it's a very interesting picture of Ratha there, looking a little bit pleased. Of course, it's a file that was taken by a photojournalist in court. So the subtitle is Gauteng Judge President Dustin Mlambo says he is pleased with the pace of the Senzo Meyiwa murder trial since a retired judge Ratha took over proceedings in July. I can already feel your pain, me reading this, and you'll be like, what? It's crazy. Wait, let's wait because I have an opinion. Okay, the article goes as follows. 5 accused, Muzi Kulelwa, Sibiya, Bongani Ntanzi, Mtobisi. What happened? It just refreshed. Sorry, you guys. Mtobisi, Prince Mncube, Mthokoziseni, Mapisa, and Fisobuhle Nkani Ntuli are standing trial for the murder of the Orlando Pirates footballer who was gunned down at the Fosleras home of his girlfriend, Kelly Khumalo, in October 2014. They were charged for his murder in October 2022 after investigations by the South African Police Service's Cold Case Unit as led by Brigadier Bongani Gininda. Mlambo was addressing the media during a press conference ahead of the judges' conference, which is being held at Sun City in Northwest Province this week. So looks like the judiciary is meeting at Northwest, where they are probably doing some reviews and looking at the year that was. And of course, the biggest case on their table is the Senzo Meyiwa murder trial. And I am supposing that this particular conference, all the judges that were present there, I'm thinking is the judges from High Court, Supreme Court of Appeal, and the Constitutional Court. And I'm sure they will also invite like special judges, like in the special courts, like human rights courts, as well as traditional courts and magistrates, I would think. So I think maybe before he went into the conference, the media wanted to know about his thoughts about the pace of Senzo Meyiwa's murder trial, as well as probably the attitude and behavior of the judge. But this is what the article continues to say, where I'm kind of like side-eyeing the judge president, and this is what he says. Mlambo said they acted quickly, consulted with the prosecutor and the defense to replace Maumela once it became clear he was incapacitated. So now he's talking about the trial within, not trial within a trial, the trial de novo. That in the first trial, there were problems. I was not watching the Senzo Meyiwa trial, as you guys already know. I've said this before. I had lost interest in the Senzo Meyiwa murder trial in 2015 when I realized that the 6 people that were with Senzo Meyiwa on that particular day, they are not going to see a day in court. I realized that this case is not going to go anywhere, so there's no point in me following it. And then I kind of gave up to a point where these people were arrested, and then I could see passing that there's actually a trial of 5 people. In my mind, I'm like, but they said there were 2 intruders. But then again, I was not interested until the client said, please, clients, do the Senzo Meyiwa murder trial. By the time I took interest, it was when it went de novo. Basically, there was that dead space because they were going to appoint a new judge, and came Ratha. And so that is where I picked up. And then, of course, I had a lot of reading to do, a lot of familiarizing myself with the Senzo Meyiwa murder trial itself. The article continues to say, he said they explored if the case could resume from where Maumela left off, but it was deemed not possible. So this is a retrial. We all know that already. You will agree with me that the matter has had good traction since Judge Mambo took over. What causes the delays is when the defense or witnesses are not available. If I remember correctly, it was only Mnisi, and sometimes it would be Mshololo, but guess what? I think there was only one adjournment that was very, very short. And Mnisi's one, they said, the trial will go on without you, sir. But when you come back, you have the right to go listen to the hindsight and catch up. And then when Mshololo is absent, her instructing attorney takes over. So I'm not quite sure what he meant by this, especially this sentence. What causes the delays is when the defense or witnesses are not available. I don't remember a witness not being available before. Okay, No, there's never been a situation where a witness was not available. I'm not quite sure where the judge president gets that from, but I stand to be corrected if I'm the one who has a case of amnesia when it comes around that. Unfortunately, it is the judiciary that takes the blame, but it's not us. And because we don't want to interfere with a fair trial. And he had to make sure that he says with a fair trial. He has to allow, said Mlambo. I'm so sorry, Judge President Mlambo. I understand. I've said this before many a times to the clan that judges in this country are independent. They are so independent that they don't listen to the outside noise. They will do as they please. And the second thing that I've always said as was that I learned that judges in South Africa can do whatever they want. They are like gods in the court. They can say whatever, do whatever. That is why Ratha behaves the way he does, because there are no consequences of his behavior, from what I've understood. And then I also remember Judge saying something to Advocate Ngumalo. I think Advocate Ngumalo said something that Judge Ratha did not like, and he challenged Ngumalo and said, if you don't like this, you as an advocate to go and assist the Minister of Justice and Correctional Services and Parliament by making recommendations to change this piece of the law. While this piece of the law still exists, there is nothing I can do. I have to follow the law. I agreed with him there. But unfortunately, even though you don't listen to the outside noise, but I'm sure you're a human being who is also curious to hear what the public out there has to say about the judiciary. And I will say to you, unfortunately, Judge President, this trial, the Senzo Meyiwa murder trial, is an unfair trial because the judge many a times, or at least showed that he is siding with the state. He comes with pre-arranged judgments, and then we're supposed to be like, oh, this is a very neutral judge. I'm sorry. This is not a fair trial. There you also got it wrong. So 2 strikes for you. The article goes to say, in air quotes, that's what has caused the delays. In the next term, Judge Mokwatleng is available throughout. Oh yeah, meaning that when he started in July, I have said to him, he must now finish this case. Yeah, so I think the reappointment of Ratha, this is the instructions that he got from Judge President to finish the case, must finish the case. Mokwatleng has been a stern presiding officer in the Meyiwa murder trial, often clashing with counsels over issues of law. Stern, yes, very stern in being biased. I agree with that. And using the law, yes, he uses the law that suits and fits his behavior in court. For example, R versus Hepworth. And then he will come also with either a constitutional authority or Supreme Court of authority, a constitution, or a Supreme Court of Appeal authority to manipulate the defense. Okay, fine. I do admit and agree to these authorities because there are precedences. But when you are using them to manipulate, that is where I have a problem. In some quarters, especially on social media, some have suggested he is biased against the accused and their defense. Yitilabo. Now, Mlambo is talking about us here, that in some quarters on social media, some have suggested that he is biased. He is biased. Sorry, sir. Very, very biased. Mokwatleng has on a number of occasions clashed with advocates Zandile Mshololo, Thulani Mngomezulu, and Charles Mnisi. Mlambo said if there were any complaints around Mokwatleng's conduct, they would first have to be leveled at him in court. Which is something now where I come in and I'm like, yeah, I get it. That's very true. If Advocate Mshololo and Advocate Mgomezulu and Advocate Mnisi have an issue with the presiding officer, they're supposed to tell him. I see Mgomezulu kind of like, gets up, but at the same time, he holds himself back. And I think I understand why Mshololo has not opened a complaint against Mokgwatleng as well as Mgomezulu and the other defense lawyers. This is where now I come with my second point about ambitions. When you're an advocate, your goal in life is to either be appointed as an acting judge in the High Court or be confirmed by, or not confirmed, but be recommended by the JSC to the president to appoint you full-time as a judge. Or when you are interested in becoming a judge and you put your name and then the JSC and then Parliament calls you for interviews, you'll be considered. Why you will be considered? Because you've been this, how do I put it? Not confrontational type of person when you were a senior counsel challenging a judge. So it's not going to look good for them if they argue with the judge or lay complaints against the judge. But I am saying if I was a politician and then it's time for Mgomezulu or Mshololo or Mnisi or Ngumalo take an interest in becoming, let's say, the Supreme Court of Appeal judge, I would be very concerned in my interview regarding these four advocates and ask, a judge was mistreating you. Why did you say anything? Because in my mind, I would think that to be a judge in a court, you must be able to actually say what's in your mind, say what you are feeling, say the things that ought to be said. But then you failed when you were still a junior, and now you want to take up this position of a high court or a Supreme Court of Appeal, or worse yet, the Constitutional Court. And you fail to challenge or at least let this judge know that you are being biased. So why should I trust that when we appoint you as a judge, you are not going to be biased as well, because you think of the privileges that I think Ratha is also enjoying, that as a judge he can do as he pleases. So I would have a problem if I was a member of parliament and I was to interview the defense if they take an interest in becoming judges, either of the High Court or the higher courts. So it's a catch-22 for me, but I'm thinking they are not saying anything. They haven't laid a complaint because they have their own ambitions. They wish at some point in their careers be recommended or appointed as judges. Where? No one knows. So they don't want to have this stigma that these people, they always complain about judges. They don't want to jeopardize any possible chance that they may have in the future. That is just my speculation. I do not know, because it does not make sense to me why there's no application has been launched against Ratha Mokgwatleng's behavior. I've even made a video where I was talking about the abuse that Zandile Mshololo experienced under Ratha Mokgwatleng, according to what I observed that particular day. But she still has not opened a case, but she's been absent for about 4 days in court. I was thinking, my goodness, this poor lady, she is so traumatized that she needed to take a rest while her instructing attorney, Mr. Muyegi, was taking over. That's what I thought. But yeah, I also agree with the judge president. Let me read again that sentence where he says, Mlambo said if there were any complaints around Mokgwatleng's conduct, they would first have to be leveled at him in court, meaning the defense would first have to speak to Mokgwatleng and saying, listen, we don't like the way you are conducting yourself as a judge. But they have not done that. But they do call him out. I feel like when Mgomezulu wants to call him out, he holds himself back, maybe because of his ambitions or his goal in life of also becoming a judge someday. So he would hold himself in the most painful way. You can tell that this man wants to say more, but he holds himself back. But he would have also planted a seed in the mind of the judge that you are actually interjecting while I am busy with my job. The article continues to say, we have not received any formal complaints by the representatives. Now, Mlambo says they, meaning the judiciary or the JSC, has not received any formal complaints from the defense about Ratha Mokgoatleng. Again, I think that's because of what I think it may be the case, ambitions. In any way, those complaints would have to be seized with the judge. Start with the judge first. Mlambo said, I have no basis. I would be interfering. I think what is being referred to is social media commentary, because if there was a complaint, the judge would have said so to me. So if the defense has not laid any complaints, and then Judge Ratha takes this complaint to the judge president for whatever, I think, investigations by JSC, then he will not do anything. Again, I agree with the sentence where he says he would not interfere. The way the high courts, in fact, the judiciary, I always known it to be independent, that even judge president does not come and interfere in a presiding court case. I doubt that he even watches television on this particular case that we are all interested in following, because he does not want to form some kind of an opinion that will lead him now to go and interfere with Ratha Mokgoatleng and say, well, I'm unhappy with the way you are conducting. That is why he's saying what he's saying. Tina, on the other side, we are saying something totally different, because we are following the case and we've formed our own opinion that Judge Ratha Mokgoatleng is biased. And then the judge president, because he does not watch or follow the case, and also because he's a judge president, he should not interfere, he says the opposite of what we are seeing. Continue. Okay. And then let me repeat this sentence where there's a comma. I think what is being referred to is social media commentary, because if there was a complaint, the judge would have said so to me. Yes, we do. We do have a lot of complaints against not Judge President, against Ratha Mokgoatleng. But we also know that we don't have power. We don't have power. And this is now my third point, where I have said many a times on this very channel that when some of the clan members are saying, hey, why don't we go march against Ratha Mokgoatleng? Why don't we lay a complaint against Ratha Mokgoatleng? Why don't we put together a petition and then submit it? And then I always came back and said it will be a futile exercise, because we are the public. And then the public is not allowed. In fact, the judges are not allowed to be influenced by the noise outside. So we will make all that noise and march and write petitions and do whatever. It is all going to fall on deaf ears. That would have been a futile exercise. And why? Because the judiciary is supposed to be independent. The judiciary is only influenced by one thing, in fact, two things, and two things only: facts. And then those facts, then you apply the law. What the law says about these facts. Everything else, it's just noise. Remember the figure of Lady Justice. She's blind, right? That means we can make all this noise that we want to make. She can't see us. The only person that represents Lady Justice, it is Ratha Mokgoatleng. And that is why he behaves the way he does, because he knows that you can't do anything to him. No, seriously. Now that I'm reading the article and I'm like, yeah, nah. But we'll continue commenting on this particular case. Whether they do listen to us or they don't, I suspect they do listen to us, because at the end of the day, Lady Justice is represented by human flesh. Humans have a habit of curiosity. They want to know what is going on out there. What are they saying out there? That is why you would hear Ratha Mokgoatleng saying, people are saying, Lady Judge. Where did you hear that, Lady Judge? Where did you hear that we are saying you are biased? That means you listen. You watch these videos. The article is almost finished, and 2 more paragraphs. The Meyiwa murder trial went on a recess after Advocate Mgomezulu complained he was ill. Lead investigator Brigadier Bongani Gininda is currently on the stand during a trial within a trial, which is being held to determine if confessions made by Sibiya and Tanzi were made freely and voluntarily. Why can't I always pronounce this word voluntarily? I think, let me do it the coconut way. Voluntarily. Done. The trial resumes on January 22nd, 2024. That's the end of the article. Now, again, guys, now we know our position as the viewers of this trial. We are interested in the Senzo Meyiwa trial because we want people that kill Senzo Meyiwa held accountable criminally. And when we see things that are not sitting well with us, of course, we're going to say something. We're not going to keep quiet. We're not going to have dead brains and say, oh no, let's wait until the end of the trial. And then when the trial ends, and then it's an unfair, okay, let's say it doesn't go according to you, who's saying Tina, we are defending criminals. If they say the Judge Ratha, he rules according to the way we see it, then what happens since you were quiet? Why don't you open your own YouTube channel and then counteract us? Or counteract whatever it is that's happening in court. It's just like, no, let's wait, you people. You see, the people that call themselves the clan, that's my name, sir. When it's cut, it's called the clan. Or clan. In full, it's clanters. Yes, I have a community called the clan. Taking from the clan. Not from my, like, you know, a group of people. And these are called the clan. And you have a situation with that. Sorry, sir. I can't help you there. But anyways, guys, that is the article regarding Judge Ratha Mokgoatleng, and this is what Judge President himself, the one that is in charge of High Court judges in Johannesburg as well as in Pretoria, has said. Basically, he's trying to say, in a nutshell, keep talking. But it's also a good thing that we are talking because we live in a democracy. In a democracy, there are fundamental constitutional rights that are bestowed on us. And one of those constitutional rights is freedom of expression, which is enshrined in the Constitution in Section 16 of the Constitution. If you don't mind, you know me, I like the Constitution. I have a copy right here. Let's read what Section 16 says, right? Bear with me for a sec. So that you get to understand why we do what we do. We're not brain dead. And then on top of that, we are not going to keep quiet when you're seeing something that isn't right. Yes, we don't have degrees in law. Yes, we are not judges. Yes, we're not experts of law. But we have a brain. And our brain has brain cells. And those brain cells, there are IQs in there. Intelligence. So me, I always said, mine are 2. And these 2, they misbehave. Let me tell you something. The moment I see something, they start rubbing together like this. And when they start rubbing together, I get bothered in my mind. Like, okay, let's go down the rabbit hole and check what's going on. And that's when I come up with answers. And then I will compile a video and come before you. And if you have a problem with that, that tells me a lot about you and your brain and your intelligence. And I want to know what your matric certificate says. Okay, Section 16 of the Constitution right here, the headline says freedom of expression. Section 16, I want to focus on subsection 1. 1 says, everyone has the right to freedom of expression. Okay? Number 1, we have the right to freedom of expression. Then there's a comma. And it says, which includes, now we go to subsection 1A, B, C, D. Okay? A says freedom. Okay, let me start there from the comma, which includes A, freedom of the press and other media. I believe that as YouTubers, we fall under other media. So we are correct in what we are doing by expressing ourselves of what we are witnessing or at least observing in court and compiling videos and becoming the other media, YouTube. The media side, which is the press, of course, they have to do what they have to do. They have a freedom as well in this country. B says Freedom to receive or impart information or ideas. Again, YouTubers, this is exactly what we are doing. We are imparting information that we are observing in this particular court. And if we learn something that we don't understand, guess what we do? We go to Google, because Google is our friend too. And then we go down the rabbit hole and search for the information that we heard and try to compare this information and what the court has said. And then we compile videos and we impart that information to our communities. We receive information. That is why we are able to watch the trial, because we are receiving what is happening in court. And then if we hear things, we compile videos and then we impart the information or ideas. We have ideas as well, because while we are watching this particular trial, we do also make suggestions. Whether those suggestions are taken by either the defense or the prosecutor or the judge, hey, guess what? We used our freedom of expression in coming up with those ideas. C says freedom of artistic creativity. Again, YouTube is a creative and artistic platform. And what we are doing, we are called creatives on YouTube, or creators by YouTube. That's what we are called. People that have YouTube channels are called creators. And of course, we come in different ways, shape and form, sizes and different niches. We just happen to have taken the court YouTube route. That is why we are able to do what we do. This constitution foresaw the 21st century. I'm very impressed with the drafters. And D says academic freedom and freedom of scientific research. Some people who are students, maybe they are law students or they are media students or students of some kind, they probably do sit and watch our videos, take some pointers of what not to do in the media, because we don't know, Tina. We didn't go to school for these things. We are just using what we believe is our brain and taking our brain and applying our confidence as well as maybe our attitude as well of how we perceive things, and then we compile a video. Whether we are right or not right, at least we are still able to become case studies. Yeah. So if any academic watch our videos and goes like, this is very interesting, and then they might want to do more research on YouTube and this type of niche that we do, guess what? It's enshrined in the Constitution. However, though, Section 16 does also limit itself, meaning that just because you got freedom of expression, you still have to be responsible with that freedom of expression, because it is not absolute. And Section 16, subsection 2 says, it's just, it's very short. It goes, the right in subsection 1 does not extend to A, propaganda for war. We don't propagate war here on the clan. And I have never seen any other YouTuber propagating war on this platform. B, incitement of imminent violence. No, we do not encourage violence, and definitely we will not support it or promote it. And C, advocacy of hatred that is based on race, ethnicity, gender, or religion, and that constitutes incitement to cause harm. We don't do that either on this street called YouTube, especially us that do court YouTube. Nope, we don't do that. And I'm sweating bullets. I think I got passionate about this topic. But other than that, guys, that is who we are as content creators on YouTube. We see things or we observe things, and then we compile videos, and then we try and make sense of what we observed. Whatever way you want to call it or feel about it, well, consult the Constitution, because it gives me the right to express myself. If you don't want to express yourself, it's your prerogative. Absolutely, you're right. Freedom of choice is enshrined also in this Constitution. So let me exercise my constitutional rights, and you also exercise your own. There's no problem there. But anyways, guys, please let me know. Okay, I'll say that later. I'm so sorry. I'm trying to do the outro and now I'm laughing because I kind of like mix my brain up. Anyways, guys, if you like the video, give it a like. If you didn't like the video, give it a like. Anyways, do subscribe to my YouTube channel and don't forget to click the bell notification so that you get notified every time I upload a new video. Thank you so much to everybody that's super thanking the channel and supporting it financially. I highly appreciate you guys. Mwah. Thank you so much. Please leave me a comment down below now. This is what I wanted to say earlier. Please leave a comment down below and let me know what did you think about the article and what did you think about Judge President Mambo's words. He says he's happy with the pace of the Senzo Meyiwa murder trial. And also, Ratha is not biased. What do you think? The clan, I know what the clan is thinking, but what do you think? Do you feel patronized? Do you feel like you're being made a fool of? Or you're not being taken serious? Or whatever the case is? Or you think the Meyiwa family themselves are being thrown under the bus by Mambo? I don't know. Let me know what you think. Also, share this video far and wide. And also, when you come across other YouTubers' channels, please do like their videos and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time with a new video. And I'm sweating bullets. Goodbye.